What's up, guys? Welcome back to KimmyDTV, tips and tricks living your best life. Do you know that there are a lot of study hacks for nursing school that you have not heard about? No, I'm not talking about your regular highlighting and taking notes. I'm talking about secrets. Shh. Listen to this. I took an anatomy and physiology class a couple of months ago. The first test, yours truly, had a 93. Of course, nobody knew it because I wasn't going to let anybody know. But only like one person got 80 and a lot of people failed. Do you think it's because, oh, I'm just smarter or oh, I just know something? Yes, it's because I know something. That is why. The reason why I was able to get a 93 is because I knew a study hack that they didn't know. So if you guys want to know how to pass nursing school by following these study hacks so that you can get on track with your goals, sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. Okay, let's go. What prompted me to make this video was actually one of my subbies. I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not, but she contacted me and she said that she has a ATI comprehensive review test coming in November. She's in an LPN school, but I believe this video can help for RNs too. So she was in LPN school, and then she says, but they still have like class tests to take in her med-surg class. So she doesn't know whether she should study for the ATI comprehensive or study for the med-surg, and whether she should read her textbook, not read a textbook, blah, 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 blah. So I decided to address this topic. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys all the study hacks. Of course, like anything, take this advice at your own risk. If you feel like you can't benefit from it, then throw it away. Alright, so I'm going to start with an example. So a couple of months ago, I took AMP1. Right? So like I said, I was the one who got 93. So I took AMP1, I bought the book, I bought the lab that went with it. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna get the ebook that goes with it, the e-textbook. Listen up, guys, because I don't want you guys to get confused. So I got the Pearson e-text that went with my anatomy and physiology book. Now, of course, it has a code here where you can put in. So guess what I did? I downloaded the e-text app on my phone. So I have the textbook on my phone. So I don't have to carry this big textbook wherever I go. Now, on to the question. Should you read your nursing chapters? Yes, you should read your nursing chapters. I know it seems daunting because you see all those little tiny words and stuff like that. And you feel like, ah! But here's the thing. You will retain information, even if you don't know it. There's something in your brain that will retain it, even if you don't understand it. Read it still, because later on when you go to that test, it will click. And it will click because of the things I'm about to tell you. Alright? So, you read those books. If I'm not sounding clear, please just ask me questions down below. So you're going to read the textbook. But you have e-text. You can download the textbook on your phone and read it through there. Now you may say, oh, what's so special about that? Think about it. In 2018, if you are taking nursing school or any kind of school in 2018, most likely you're always on Instagram scrolling, you're always on Facebook scrolling, so the rate at which your eyes read vertically, alright, is so much faster than if you would open up a textbook like if it was like 1990 something or 2001 and read horizontally. It's gonna just take longer. So I found that through reading my e-text book chapter, it was so much, it was so much faster. I'm not saying that it doesn't take time, but it's so much faster. And get this, after I finish give my meds, like when I would be at work, I'm popping up my meds, I would be in my break room and read. just scroll, read. People think I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, but no, I'm reading my textbook, okay? That is a little secret, all right? So that's what I would do. And or if I have some downtime, I would do it. If I'm on the bus, I would read. If I'm on the train, I would read. Stay safe. You know what I mean? So you read whenever you have a chance. And sometimes they would have little audio MP3 things. I mean, it's not absolutely necessary that you read a little extras, because sometimes the little extras are just what they sound. Extras, you just read. So just read through it once, all right? It doesn't matter if you don't understand it. Just try to understand it, but just read through it once, okay? Look at the review questions and do the review questions. Don't write it. You don't have to write it down. Just do the review questions, all right? So the second tip is use your online resources and pay attention to what your teacher says. So my teacher said, listen, I put on CUNY Blackboard or whatever program you use, I put some videos up of me teaching the lesson. He put some videos up of him teaching the lesson, not the whole lesson, but parts of the lesson, the important parts of the lesson. He said I put outline from the PowerPoints, because he taught via PowerPoints, and he posted the PowerPoints itself, okay? And last but not least, which is a very important part, which is a method I use to pass my NCLEX, is he posted a link to this textbook's company's questions, right? Because there are textbooks, like almost every textbook you use, I guarantee your textbook have it. If you go on their website, you go under questions, they will have practice questions for you to take. So not only did he give us a link to our textbook that we were using, practice questions, he gave us a link to other versions, other textbook versions for us to do it. He gave us a link to other textbook companies' chapter 1 skeleton question. All right, so just to give you an example, all right, so this is Marieb Hoen. So he would give us a link to Marian Hoeb, Anatomy and Physiology, chapter 1 skeleton questions. Then, I don't know, Zach and Leaders, chapter 1 skeleton questions. Then Tiffany and Angela, chapter 1 skeleton. So it's different textbooks, but covering the same chapter, the same topic. All right, so stay with me, guys. So after I read the textbook, I would not like study, but I would just read through the PowerPoints, okay? I wouldn't even print it out. I would read through the PowerPoints, okay? I would read through the PowerPoints, and I would read the outline, okay? So that is 3 times that information is being ingrained in my head, right? So preferably it's great to do it before the lecture, but if it's after the lecture, that's fine too. So when I went to lecture, guess what? I didn't take no notes. Okay, it did help me that I was an LPN before, I'm not gonna lie. So I already took that class, but AMP and for RN is more in depth. So I didn't take any notes. I was just sitting down and I was answering all the questions, and people were looking at me like, what? How she knew all the questions? Because I did the pre-reading and I only read it once and I read the outline. So I'm a type of person, I'm not saying don't take notes. The teacher was asking me, why, Kimberly, why aren't you taking notes? The reason why I wasn't taking notes is because I knew what I was doing, okay? I was like, for me, the way I learn, I can't be taking notes, listening to you, taking notes, listening to you, because I get distracted. My brain is just like that. I have to fully listen to you, give you my undivided attention in order for me to grasp what you are saying. If you are educating me in a scholastic way, I need to listen to what you're saying. So while he's saying it, he's re-explaining the things. So the things that I didn't get from the textbook or the outline or the PowerPoint, he's re-explaining. And by the way, the outline that he created is only like 1 or 2 pages. And the PowerPoint's like, you know PowerPoints, you just read it. So after he finished explained that he did the and he went very fast, by the way. So after he finished his lecture, guess what I did? So I had a lot of things to do at that time. I was very busy with school and life and stuff like that. So what I did is I waited the last minute. I know it's bad, but I spent 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and I was off that weekend. And guess what I did? I sat my butt down. Remember the questions we were talking about? I took all the questions, all the review questions. I read the rationales, and I took so many questions I was tired of it. So let's say Tuesday your lecture is on skeletal muscle, right? So you take chapter 1 skeletal muscle, chapter 1 skeletal muscle from this textbook, chapter 1 skeletal from this textbook, chapter 1 skeletal from this textbook. I took so many questions, and when I sat down to take the test, honestly I felt like I was gonna fail, just like the NCLEX, because it was so hard. But I actually got a 93. So of course some of the questions that I took were not on the test, but that's not the point. It's just like with NCLEX. You study so that even though it's not on a test, you study to get used to taking questions. You study to get used to taking it. So even though those AMP were not NCLEX style questions, they were just a regular prerequisite, it is still practicing how to answer the question. So that's why when people came to on the test day, they were like, oh my gosh, these questions look so confusing. These questions look so confusing. I was like, nope, not me. It didn't look confusing to me. I'm not saying it wasn't hard, but that is how I passed. All right, guys. So my last but not least tip is, so say you guys have tests, study. Okay, if you are in nursing school, study for the test that you are taking. Look at the test paper. See if you can find out which website he or she takes those questions from. Ask your teacher, is there any specific website that you recommend me to study? You know what I mean? So while you're in nursing school, don't worry about the ATI, don't worry about the NCLEX yet. I'm not saying don't take the questions, but take it. But to answer that girl's question, what I told her to do is to, yes, read the textbook, read the material, because more than likely your test is going to be on the material, more so than taking a, let's say, NCLEX Saunders review book and then reading that section, just so that you don't feel like reading that long book, or taking the ATI section, like skeletal muscle section, and then just saying that. You know what I mean? Because usually when you're in school, whatever textbook they're giving you, they go more in depth. If you want to use a Saunders NCLEX book, I would say just use it for review after you've read your textbook. Would I do that? Honestly, no, because that takes way too much time. But the best way to use an NCLEX review book, if you are in nursing school, in my opinion, is just practice the questions, okay? So if there's a psychology section in that book that you guys are using for nursing school, just practice the questions according to that section, you know? Another tip I want to give is that group studying is not for everybody. So while I was in school, some people offered to group study. I was like, no, I can't group study. If group studying is not for you, it's not for you. I'm just somebody who loves to play around, honestly. I love to talk to people. I'm a socialite. So if it's group study, I'm going to be like, I'm going to just go off topic. I'm going to want to hang out, have fun, whatever. That's just my personality. And plus, also, if somebody is ahead of me, it just confuses me. I don't really get how when people explain things to me, I'm somebody who I have to just figure out why the answer is wrong by myself, if that makes any sense. So I just want to give you guys this tip. Group study is not always the best thing. If it's not, it's not. So last but not least, like, just know your study style, calm down, and even if everybody, like, you don't always have to do what everybody else is doing, especially if it's not working for you. If everybody's taking notes, like, I don't really, to be honest with you, I respect professors and I respect teachers, but if the teacher is telling me to do something and I know it doesn't work for me, I have confidence in myself enough not to do what the teacher is telling me. Like, teacher was so confused as to why I didn't take notes, yet I was the highest person in your class, right? I was the person getting the highest grades, because I know, like, for sitting down and taking notes is not going to help me unless I'm in some kind of self-development conference or something like that, something not school related. I can take notes. When it comes to retaining information like that, is that. So guys, remember, if you're taking something like anatomy and physiology, it's all a memorization game, but it's also a questions game. Remember, guys, in nursing school, just learn how to take the questions. Even if one day you don't have enough time to read the textbook and it's a night before, just take a whole bunch of questions. You know, you may have like a low 70, but at least you're not gonna fail. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.